Joining us now on the Megacast from Michigan Economic Development Corporation is their media and communications manager, Otie McKinley, who's been with us many different times before to talk all about Michigan travel. And what a time of the year to have Otie McKinley on with us, as plenty of Michiganders are expected to hit the road again, not only statewide, but in other areas of the country and around the world this holiday season. Otie, thanks for being with us today.
Good morning, Tyler. How are we doing today?
Doing all right. How are you doing, Otie?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So we have a really interesting couple of weeks coming up here as we get toward the end of the year. We have the Christmas holiday coming up next week, followed immediately, of course, by New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, all across the world, and including here in the state of Michigan. Plenty of people are expected to travel this holiday season. The travel numbers in Michigan, according to AAA, expected to be right about just shy of pre-pandemic levels. An estimate of about 3.5 million people will be hitting the road this holiday season. So from your standpoint and from those and from others in the travel industry here in the state of Michigan, what are some of your top suggestions for people as they get ready to leave their homes potentially this holiday season and hit the road right here in Michigan? What should they be considering before they get out the door?
Well, Tyler, you're right. It is the time for travel. It is the time to spend time with friends and family, and it is the gift-giving season. And as you mentioned, we're not 100% back to pre-pandemic travel numbers, but we are getting closer and closer, which is great news. People are getting out, supporting the travel industry, supporting the small businesses. But when looking at traveling this holiday season and throughout the winter, for that matter, it's incredibly important that we overemphasize people plan, schedule, make reservations, just because there are so many people traveling, and with potential staffing challenges, just make sure that you're reaching out, setting your schedule, making the reservations to ensure that nothing impacts your travel or your experiences throughout the state.
Let's dive a little bit deeper onto that. Given the staffing challenges that our lodging industry has been experiencing all throughout the pandemic and in the 6 months to a year after the major parts of the pandemic have started to subside, just how big of an impact could that have on people if they're trying to book hotels or change some of their plans last minute, as opposed to maybe starting them or wrapping them up about now with a week or so to go until the major holidays?
Yeah, as long as people are planning what their activities and events are going to be, then everything's going to be fine. And we all know that last second changes happen, and people adapt and accommodate to those changes. As you're looking at this time where maybe some people have some time off work, just getting out and exploring some of the great parts of the state, both our dynamic city centers like Detroit or Grand Rapids, or the more traditional up north vacation where people are heading to some of the ski areas, some of the resorts, water park areas, just to enjoy the time with friends and family. This is the time of the season where people are able to do that. And when you are out and at restaurants or small businesses, just be kind to those that are working at these establishments. It can be a tough time because people are busy, and if they're understaffed, the challenges aren't gone yet. And so remember that they are there helping make your experience and memories to the best of their ability. And so we just remind people to be kind, and always, as I say, when you are out traveling, support the small businesses, not only the restaurants and hotels, but during this gift-giving season, support the local businesses in either the communities you live or the communities you're traveling to.
When you think about this time of the year, or really across the calendar year, those major travel times, you think about Thanksgiving and the December holidays, Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend is another big one. And each of those different times of the year comes with different traffic concerns and different varying times when people may leave their homes in order to travel to their destinations here in Michigan or in other places. And so that can also have an impact on people's ability to travel effectively and travel efficiently. And especially this holiday season with what we're expecting weather-wise across the state of Michigan over the next week as well. What suggestions do you have, or does the Michigan Economic Development Corporation and Travel Michigan have in terms of, what are those times people should be aiming to maybe that move from their home to their destination? Are there particular days that are in the past, or typically bad days necessarily to travel because of increased traffic?
Well, there's never bad days to travel, right? There are more congested traffic routes on certain days, but I think it's just kind of the common things where, certainly check the weather forecast to make sure you're not getting yourself in trouble. And if there's going to be a particular day where the weather looks particularly bad for driving, maybe leave a day early, maybe leave a day late. Let our colleagues over at the Michigan Department of Transportation make sure the roads are nice and clear and safe for everybody. But ultimately, I think just going along the lines of safety is never be in a rush, right? Make your arrangements that fit your schedule, and when you get out on the road, be safe, pay attention to the weather. Wouldn't hurt to go to the MDOT website to make sure you're aware of any construction areas. As we get later into the winter, those continue to decrease, but during the heavy traffic times, it's always good to know where you might run into some backups due to the construction.
And as they're making these decisions, often last minute decisions, depending on the weather, that can also affect their travel itinerary, especially when it comes to lodging. They may have a specific check-in date and time range. If that is going to be changing because of the weather affecting their ability to travel, what steps can consumers take in order to protect those plans and hopefully not lose out on that hotel room or those other plans they maybe have had on the docket that might have to change in these scenarios?
Yeah, I think that there's a number of different ways that those variables can impact travel and your, in this case, hotel accommodations. I would just say make sure you're reaching out to the hotel, see what their policies are due to weather constraints and cancellations, or checking in a day later, say. Um, but just make sure you've got all the information available to ensure that your travels are impacted as little as possible. We know Michigan roads can get a little slick in the winter, but again, just be safe. And people need to make the decisions they need to make to ensure their vacation goes off without a hitch. And safety is generally at the forefront of that. So just work with the hotel, see what their options are, and worst case scenario, if you do need to book a night in another hotel until your original hotel gets or made available, sometimes those need to happen. And just sometimes understanding that your schedule can be a little flexible is always a good thing to have in your back pocket.
More information can be found on different places to go this holiday season, different activities to participate in by going to Michigan.org. Michigan.org, a good place to go, and also across the state of Michigan's various department websites to deal with traffic concerns. You can go to MDOT's website for that to learn more about traffic projects, and of course, check in with your local weather authority as well to keep up to date on weather reports. We're joined by Otie McKinley on today's edition of the Megacast. He is the Media and Communications Manager at the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, which oversees Pure Michigan, on today's edition of the Megacast. And with a few more minutes with you today, Otie, as we are getting toward the end of the year, we're in the thick of the holiday season. There's plenty of fun activities to engage in, community to community. Where are some of those locations? Of course, Michigan.org is a great place to go, but other locations, maybe locally, you would suggest that people are looking to if they're trying to participate in some of these holiday activities that are fun for maybe themselves, maybe a couple, or even the entire family?
My wife and I just spent a weekend down in Detroit, and what an incredible experience that is, with the Cadillac Lodge and all of the pop-up markets. If you're looking to get in the festive mood, go to downtown Detroit. It is just an amazing experience. Certainly, the number of restaurants with just fantastic dining options really is something that surprises us every time we go down there. It seems like there's a new restaurant opening every time we get to Detroit, which is a great problem to have, trying to decide which restaurant we want to go to. But it also, on the other side of the state, the Muskegon Sports Complex with the luge and the ice skating. is another great day trip to experience winter in southern Michigan or southwest Michigan in this particular case. But also, as we are getting close to full ski season, ski areas across the state from southeast Michigan to the western tip of the UP is always a great opportunity for family to spend a weekend together, getting outside. But not only downhill skiing, right? With cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, tubing, fat tire bike riding, ice skating. There's just so many opportunities when you get into some of these ski areas that they offer in addition to skiing, just to make sure everyone in the family is having a great time and experiencing what that particular ski area or resort has to offer.
Of course, you can find more information on a variety of activities across the state of Michigan by visiting Michigan.org. Michigan.org is a great place to go to find attractions all across the state of Michigan, including in the Detroit area as well as downtown this holiday season as well. We're joined by Otie McKinley, Media and Communications Manager with Michigan Economic Development Corporation, which oversees Pure Michigan, on today's edition of the Megacast. Otie, before we let you go, a few more minutes left. Anything else that people should be considering as they're getting ready to finalize their holiday travel plans? We're getting ready to enact those holiday travel plans in the next couple of weeks.
We kind of chatted about it a moment ago. Just remember to be safe, plan ahead, and be willing to have flexible schedules based on any number of variables that may impact those. But also, as we get really into the depth of the holiday shopping season, again, I just want to reiterate the importance of supporting local businesses throughout the state. For more information on how to support local businesses, and again, that might seem kind of counterintuitive, it seems pretty straightforward, but I recommend people going to michigan.org/shop local or support local. My apologies. When you are making a purchase in one of these small businesses, 68% of that dollar, every dollar spent, stays in the community. So when you think about the number of people that could potentially be buying holiday gifts for friends and family throughout these small businesses, the impact is incredible. Again, not only for the communities in which the businesses are located, but certainly the shop proprietor and the employees that work there. So we want to continue to remind people, when looking to buy gifts for this holiday gift giving season, think about supporting the businesses in the communities in which you live or the communities in which you travel to.
More information can always be found on Michigan.org for both this holiday season and traveling across the Great Lakes state all throughout the year. Otie, thanks so much for joining us.
Tyler, have a great one. I appreciate it. Look forward to chatting with you soon.
Yes, we will chat with you very soon, and a happy holiday to you as well, Otie.
Be well, sir.